By the way, how many of these t-shirts do I own? Same t-shirt?
Yeah, he owns a lot of these t-shirts.
Tactical Strong, so it's not the same t-shirt. You see
That
the
is
video.
his coaching, mentoring business. Oh, my hair. Okay, the wind's going to blow anyway. So anyway, tonight we're doing our video earlier than usual.
Yep.
Because we have other things we need to do tonight. So the title of today's topic was inspired by First Chronicles 19. Verse, First Chronicles 19, verse, let's see, it's about 2 to 5, okay? And it just really, this scripture really stuck out to us because, you know, leadership is such a weighty responsibility. Mm-hmm. Honey, get in the video.
Yeah.
Okay, leadership is a very weighty responsibility. You know, I know when I was younger, I really wanted to be a leader and I wanted to be somebody special and I wanted to have a lot of attention and this and that. But now as I get older, I just thank God I never had it because I really wouldn't have been ready to handle it well. But with that being said, this scripture jumped out to us because in this situation, King David had heard about the death of the Ammonite king, who he had a peace treaty with. Okay, and so David, King Nahash of the Ammonites, died, and they had a peace treaty. That king was respectful and honored King David, and so they had peace. Okay. And so when he died, it says that David sent messengers to console King Nahash's son. Okay, and it says that, I'm going to read it to you. David sent messengers to console him concerning his father. However, when David's emissaries arrived, or his ambassadors arrived in the land of the Ammonites to comfort the king's son Hanun, the leaders of Hanun said, just because David has sent the men to give you condolences doesn't mean he's not coming here to spy on the land and take your land. So Hanun took David's emissaries or ambassadors and he shaved them. That was very disrespectful. That was a sign of great disrespect. And it says he cut the backs of their pants off, so he left their...
They could be exposed from the
So
back.
their rear ends were exposed. So they cut their beards off, shaved them, and left their butts exposed to return in utter shame to King David when David was trying to show honor and comfort to this man. So then it was reported back to David what had happened, and David rallied up his troops and went after the guy and killed a lot of people because of this. The thing that really hit us with this is that, your shadow, is that if you have leaders in position that you're listening to, okay, you have to be very careful about who you listen to and who you have in leadership, because these leaders misinformed their king. And as a result, 40, 50, some thousand people were slaughtered. Okay, and I would say, you know, maybe we're not dealing with wars and stuff like that, but we do deal with the church, right? There are big churches and there's families and there's businesses that we could really learn from this example. In the military, what happens if you're misadvised?
Well, a lot of people can lose their lives, and it's something like leaders take that very, very seriously. And for example, before you get promoted, you actually have to go to a board and make sure you know all the information. You also have to go to different schools to make sure you know how to lead people, how to talk to people, what to tell them. So you have to have a lot of information. It comes with a lot of weight because people look up to you all the time. Even when you don't think you're a leader, people will always be looking up to you to say, what is he going to say? How is he going to act? How is he going to behave? Is he using the proper language? Is that person using foul language? You see, is that person conducting himself properly, accordingly? So leadership is something that should never be
taken
lightly at all, because there's always somebody watching you. It doesn't matter if you're a teenager, you have some, little siblings. They're always looking after you. You have all the peers in your school looking after you. Same thing if you're in college, at work. People in your job, people are always looking at you. Even in our careers, in our profession as realtors, people look after us for sound advice. So that's why, leadership is something should be taken very, very seriously. Even if you don't think you're a leader, there's always somebody out there looking up to you.
Yeah, and I would say, to tie it back to this scripture, was these leaders were leading under the king, okay? And so they misadvised the king. The king, and this is what we have to be careful of when we start jumping on bandwagons with people that are saying, no, they're coming after you, no, they're doing this, or no, they're really not good. We have to take a step back and go, okay, in this case, Hanun's dad had a history with King David of respect, and they respected each other. Hanun could have taken a step back and said, look guys, King David and my father have had peace, and my father honored him, and David honored my father. I'm not going to go disrespect his men.
Because somebody told me they're spies.
Yeah, let's go gossip. Find out from David.
On a gossip.
I'll humble myself before David and, take my life in my own hands rather than put my nation at risk with wrong information, right? So sometimes we're quick to jump on bandwagons about judging other people that we're like, wait, that's hard to believe. Right? So let's go to the person ourselves. Let's make sure we go and make sure we verify the information and not cause exponential more damage and death than has to be. Okay?
It's a lot easier to pass judgment than to find the truth.
Yeah, it takes humility, and it's risky to go try to find the truth, especially when you hear that somebody's probably going to try to take you out. But rather them take me out than my whole family, right? And so that's when a true leader and king, right? The true leaders go first and they lead their men.
Yeah, you lead by example in front of front.
Yeah, good?
That's how you do it.
Yeah. So be careful who you appoint, be careful who you listen to. Bless you.